Bereya, pass these orders on to the commander in this section. Oh, yeah. Hexy wrote an operations order. Alright, so we're going to try command with TCS. We moved on to Gross Deutschland 41. I didn't shoot the last video in stone because there was nothing the French could do. Once I cleared out Ston, those armored cars just didn't have what they needed. So I think everybody was right. Should play the campaign game. Anyhow, let's get on here to the Eastern Front where I love to play. So we are playing the first scenario in Gross Deutschland 41, where pretty much just infantry. Matter of fact, that's all it is: infantry and a couple support units. And up that road, yonder a ways lies Moscow. Okay, so we're in late 41. Close to late 41. And the Russians are defending the approaches to Moscow. So this scenario, like I say, involves infantry on infantry. I think in the designer's notes for the scenario, they're talking about banging your head against an immovable object or a stone wall or whatever, and we're going to find out. So I decided to write an operations order using an op sheet for the Russians. I'll have one for the Germans too. I've got the Germans set up underneath the paper here so that you can't see them. So here is the goals for this. We're tagging this Operation Puppet Master because when the local commander pulls the strings, all the puppets will move to a different location. All right. Here's our front line. We're protected by minefields, hopefully. All right. These minefields, when a German unit hits them to clear them, you're going to roll to see if that minefield actually got completed. So whether it's there or not. And along the road, you've got roadblocks. These roadblocks cannot be cleared by the Germans. Pioneers or not. They just can't be done. Okay? Germans don't even have any pioneers from what I understand the scenario anyhow. So we got 2 battalions from the 10th Guard. 10th Guard Regiment. And they're set up on both sides of the Tula Road. This is the main thoroughfare. This is the main point of contention right there. The Germans need that expressway to Moscow, so they're going to try to clear it, all right? The 2 objectives are this intersection here and the town. Now, if the Germans take either one of them, they win. So that kind of threw me for a loop at first, but this is a lesser grade victory for the Germans than taking this town of Steparino Golubatsky is, okay? So we wrote an operations order for the Russians. You got 2nd Battalion is north of the road, and 3rd Battalion is south of the road. And they've got some regimental artillery assets. Actually, they got one from outside the regiment from 36th Guard. And then they've got, they got a couple of them actually, 29th and 34th Guard. So, but they are in support. Forward observers are in this game. Now, your local unit forward observers can spot for their inherent mortar teams, all right, within the companies. But the regimental assets from these other regiments, they have to use their own forward observers, which they are on the map here somewhere, okay? We got one over here and one over here somewhere. This is game 9 in the series, so it's already geared to play with the rules that I was using for GD40. All right, so here's our operations order. Let's zoom in. Well, tell you what, let's explain it first, and y'all can look at the pretty drawing I did, okay? All right, priority mission is to defend here along the front line. You've got 2 defensive positions. You can call them objectives if they want. You've got Cognac north of the line, north of the road, and you've got Red south of the road. Red. That goes well, doesn't it? On order from command, should they need to, a withdrawal will begin into new defensive positions. We're doing what's called an elastic operations sheet for this thing. There are 3 companies in each of these battalions. All right. On withdrawal orders, 2 of the companies in Cognac will withdraw to the town, on the front edge of the town here, into position vodka, or objective vodka, whatever you want to call it, and they will provide a defense facing to the southwest. All right? 2 companies in the southern section of red, objective red, or position red, they will withdraw to green in this area here, where they will provide a blocking force for any sweep from the south by any German units to come around and take the town. The inside companies for both battalions on call will withdraw to this intersection here and set up a hasty defense as fast as they can because we don't want to give up that. I've noted in my operations order that this position is a no retreat objective. So if the Russians fall back to it, they cannot fall any farther out of that. The game starts at 10 in the morning and it ends at 1300. So from 10 in the morning till 1 o'clock. So what do we got? 3 turns a pop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turns. All right. So they need to keep the Germans off of this intersection for 10 turns. All right. And, well, keep them out of the town, too. So I wrote my operations order. We'll go down through it. Like I say, this is my first one, my op sheet. This is my first one. All right. So we'll start at the top there. 1,000 hours, prepared defense. They have a size or rating of 3. There's no staff elements in this game, so they don't get a -1 subtraction. And the player's pamphlet for this series says that the formations have a size of 3. So that's going to be their command weight or command rating when you use the command weight chart. When will that chart come into effect is when local command calls for these guys to withdraw. I haven't read all the command rules yet, but I'm getting there, okay? We're calling it, we have 10th Guard Regiment. We got 2 battalions from the 10th Guard Regiment with their support units, okay? And a couple of outside assets. We're calling Operation Puppet Master. Cognac is occupied by the 2nd Battalion, and Red is occupied by the 3rd Battalion. Those are frontline positions. With their direct support, their inherent support, and then two battalions of regimental other regimental artillery outside there. I think they're 76 millimeters. Okay? Their failure instructions are to, should they have a morale issue or they start to run, their failure is to run or regroup at the back end of town and then await assignment. Okay? However, they have to defend that intersection, so we're going to do our best to not let anybody run away. All right, my assignments. Written notes here. All right, priority. Keep the Tula Highway blocked. Don't let the Germans have free reign on that highway. 2nd Battalion will run a defense in position Cognac, north of the Tula Highway, and 3rd Battalion will be in position Red, defensively south of the Tula Highway. All right. Both battalions are to stay linked along this highway no matter what happens. They've got to keep this thing blocked, so they need to stay linked. All right. On orders, I've already been over that too. 1 company from each battalion. All right, will fall back. It'll be the nearest companies. The inside companies will fall back on this intersection here and set up a defense along this little slope right here. And then the other 2. Here I am. I'm showing you all this, and you can't even see it on the map. Duh. All right. So. The 2 inside companies here will fall back on this little slope right here and defend this intersection, all right, with whatever support they can take with them. And the 2 remaining companies will fall back here and here, okay, and block the entrance to that town. And they can provide support to these guys here because, like I said, you've got these artillery, you've got mortar units sitting back there. So there's my plan for the Russians. Didn't need to write up multiple. Your objectives are simple. It's the road. I mean, you've got to keep them out of here. You've got to keep them out of here. You need to keep them out of both of them. So it's pretty easy to decide how to set up a defense for that. All right. Granted, the ground looks like it's all open, except for when you get in here behind this blocking terrain. Good high ground back here for spotters if the weather's clear, which as far as I know it is. But you don't have much here. You're just sitting out in the open here, so they're going to have to use this high ground here. Hopefully these minefields hit, that they're active, and they'll put a damn on the German advance because it's nothing but grunts coming up here. I already have the Germans deployed. I'm going to write their operations order next. But let's get this one up so you all can just have a field day with Hexy's operation order. It has been so many years since I've actually written one of these things, and it says op sheet, but that's how I look at it, as an operations order. All right, tell me what you think. Give me your tactical advice as a field commander. Talk to you soon. See you, Baraya.